social prep, no solid plan. Spins a yarn, recants a tale. The esoteric approach won't fail. Tune in, it's time for Common Man. Common Man, Common Man. Charms the housewives like no one can. What'd you shoot? Where'd we play? Non-stop nonsense on deck today. Tune in, it's time for Common Man.
Oh boy! Why should anybody aspire to be a common man, an average man? Do you realize what it means to be average? That means you're the best of the lousiest, and the lousiest of the best. Now, if we demand more and more for producing less and less, while the have-not nations encourage and inspire and indeed require hard work and maximum effort, if we deify the common men while they encourage and reward the uncommon ones, well, the end result of such a lopsided race as that is too obvious to require elaboration.
I mean, it's like, hello?
Nuts and bolts, we got screwed.
The victory formation.
Victory formation.
A dog with a note in his mouth should be able to sell those ratings.
Boy, how disappointing is that? Cam Dantzler, what are you doing?
And Peyton Manning takes the knee for the third straight time, and that should do it, folks. The final score of Super Bowl 41, the Colts 29, the Bears 17, and look at the pandemonium from the Indianapolis sideline down here in Miami. Colts spilling onto the field. Oh, and there we go, the Gatorade bath for Coach Tony Dungy, and it's Mike Doss applying the Gatorade bath. Good to hear from Mike Doss tonight as the Colts are your Super Bowl 41 champions.
Let's play.
Probably the biggest at bat at night, first and second with no outs, and Kadire swung on a first pitch fastball down and away and grounded into double play. We got to have a better at bat there. That one really hurt. I think the game kind of changed after that. It didn't look good after that, and that was a little disappointing. Michael just chased. He just chased a bad pitch.
I always loved that one.
Mark, they can't pitch. They can't hit. What is with? I mean, come on.
Rosa, you don't know nothing.
Think he don't, think he doesn't, think he can't, think he won't.
He's the clown from Brown. He's the fourth in the North. This is the Common Man, Dan Cole.
I don't know if you remember, Tenneby. I think you were the interim producer at the time. You're now bridge producer. Or no, what did we start calling you? Golden Gate producer? Luxury producer. Is that what it was? I'm going to start calling you Ted Scott, and I'm going to be Scotty Scheffler. We'll play that audio later. It's so good. It's trendy now all over social. Were you interim at the time when I introduced the new and improved Common Man program?
Which time?
Well, I only did it one time where I did it. It's the new and improved Common Man program. I did a bit.
I believe so.
And it wasn't new or improved. It was the same thing. We just trotted out the same old gibberish that we always do. But, you know, if you ever, you don't go grocery shopping. You have everything delivered to your house. You're lazy. I like to go out and walk the aisles. And, well, actually, I just don't know how to order anything on Prime. I wouldn't even know where to start. I've had a couple of things from Prime delivered to me, including my red iron, golf iron head golf club, the covers for the golf clubs. I have to have Deuce do it for me because I didn't know how to go about it. But if you go to, you'll see, like, let's say a laundry detergent. It'll have a big splashy from it. It goes new and improved, and it's like, and my guess is it's not new and improved. They may have added. I don't think anybody would call them on it, right? maybe, the Consumer Protection Agency or something go, you say it's new and improved. What did you do to it? Well, we really can't say. It's what is that called? Proprietary information.
Sure.
Shh. It's a trade secret. We can't tell you what we did. Well, if you're advertising it as is new and improved, but you've done nothing to it, then you're perpetrating you're pulling a rose in on the laundry detergent buying market, right? So, is it really new and improved? And how improved is it? Does it make your clothes cleaner? Does it make them smell better? Is it what we are going to start doing, though, now is we're going to start doing what all the really good shows do. This is what I've noticed from the really good shows. Of course, I haven't listened to any of those shows, but I've heard through a buddy of mine was ducking in and out and tells me that they do, I'm going to start referring to them as vacuum-sealed segments. I just like the alliteration. Vacuum-sealed segments. In other words, it's just, the segment is just, it's in and of itself. You don't just meander around and bounce around and do 3 or 4 different topics. Like talk about new and improved and bridge producer and vacuum sealed segments, and then talk about the Stanley Cup playoffs, and then talk about
Wheel of Topics.
And all of a sudden it's like you've covered 13, 14 things, none of them important, none of them interesting. Just you're staring. If you've noticed, I'm always looking at the clock. 12:07. I got to get to 12:12. Wow. 12:07. Got to get to 12:12 before I hear that music. I got another 4.5 minutes here. What do I got? Oh, I'll just start meandering again. Yeah. Then that's been a game changer. In the book I wrote that I never gave you a copy of.
Yeah.
There's like a 5 or 6 page in the middle where it's just musical notes, where it's intermission music in the book. Because it's like I was writing and all of a sudden I got brain freeze or writer's cramp, whatever they call it. And so then I had Summer Samba play for like 4 or 5 pages. So the book is advertised as like 258 pages. There's really only like 253 pages that have writing. The others just have musical notes. You turn it page after page after page. So vacuum sealed segments. Everything is going to be one topic, self-contained. Get in, get out. You start, you get to the middle, you get to the end. Boom, you seal it up. And then you package it and you write new and improved on it and put it on the radio buying shelf. There you go. That's a new and improved segment. You want a podcast? It's the new and improved, vacuum sealed Common Man segment. What do you think?
Brilliant.
They say I haven't done anything new in 20 years. I got ripped, I guess, because Big Ticket said I can't take anybody. This is what now a buddy of mine told me. They said, because he and I were talking during the passing of the baton yesterday about Bodega Cat and how brilliant he was, and again, this is not hindsight being 2020. When the Wolves made that traded Bodega Cat for Julius Randle and Roberto DiVincenzo, I said it's like what Ben Lieber said when he listened to the Common Man program for the first time. I don't like this, or is it I don't like that? Whatever Ben Lieber.
I don't like this.
Yeah. I don't like this. And I didn't like the trade then, and I don't like it now. And certainly after how we saw the Wolves play against the Thunder, they were just thumped by the Thunder. Or not by the Thunder, but by, they were thumped by the Thunder. 2 years. We get thumped by everybody. Who have we been thumped by? This year it was the
San Antonio,
and then we got thumped by the Mavericks once. And then
that was 2 years ago, and then OKC last year.
Yeah, OKC we got thumped by. Then we get thumped by everybody. It's always in that Western Conference Finals, and it's always 4-1, 4-1, 4-1, 4-1. And let's face it, Gobert was not very good against Wembanyama. If you want to go back and look at the numbers, you can. It was one of the major reasons why we lost that game. And now it's only been one game. I get that, but the reason you can say it was Brunson, and Brunson had a lot to do with it. I mean, he scored 13. He outscored. Did I read that right? He outscored his 13 points in the fourth quarter was more than San Antonio scored in the entire fourth quarter, I think, or last 8 minutes or something. I don't recall. It was, he was brilliant. Scoring. He's a great player. I expressed my admiration for him a week ago. You don't have to be a part of the basketball community or to be in any kind of camp when you employ the esoteric approach. You watch a guy like Brunson play, said, this is a great player. I love watching him play, just like what he does. He's only 6'2". He's a guy you would look at him and say, he's not a guy that's going to make it in the NBA, or if he is, he's going to be a role player. He's a star. And I don't know if you saw the clip you mentioned, you did see it, and I hadn't seen it at the time, the clip of Big Meow, Bodega Cat, exhorting his team, taking that leadership role with his team, not pouting like the Wolves do. When we pout, Big Meow doesn't pout. He leads his team to victories. That was a bad trade. And I can't take anybody seriously that can't at least reconsider. They may have liked it at first. They may have approved of the trade. They may have agreed with it. But it's what has it gotten us?
Well, and I'll tell you what, I feel like a lot of people in this market, specifically the basketball people, have kind of just blindly had hashtag faith in Tim Connolly.
That's exactly right.
And his decisions. And he's made some good moves. There's no doubt. But I am wondering now with the way Rudy's going, with how much he gave up for him, and the way Big Bodega Cat's playing, that I'm wondering if everyone's not just going to blindly go up. Tim Connolly made a move. It must have been a good move, like they used to. Or even the Dillingham draft pick.
Did not
turn out well.
There's another. I mean, he's no longer on the team anymore. As a matter of fact, what I'm going to do, we got Peek at the Purple. That wasn't a vacuum sealed segment. The next one will be, because it will be strictly purple. Then I don't know if I can talk about one topic for 20 minutes, though. Because I don't think I care enough about any one topic to talk for 20 minutes. So maybe the vacuum sealed segment, maybe that idea.
They don't have to all be vacuum sealed.
What? Yeah. But that's what all the good shows do. They're vacuum sealed. Maybe the whole idea of new and improved is just a bad idea. Maybe how about this? We just keep doing the same thing we've been doing for 30 years.
I know we could talk about for those 20 minutes. Controversial Minnesota Vikings news.
Oh, yeah. And that takes up a lot of time. We'll do Peek at the Purple next here on the Common Man program on the Fan.
Common and Corey Cove take on Zach Halverson.
Stay plugged into everything KFAN. Sports updates, ticket giveaways, and show highlights. Follow at KFAN 1003 on Instagram, TikTok, and X today.
Couple 13-14 past. I'm Common. East Tennessee. Time now for Peek at the Purple, brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric. And Affordable Electric is, with summer coming up, let's say you want some new patio lights. Let's say you want a hot tub. You want that wired. Or let's say a storm runs through your neighborhood and maybe your lights dim or flicker. You need to check into it right away, man. Even small problems can lead to major ones. Any electrical need you have, go to affordable-electric.com. Affordable-electric.com. Affordable Electric is shockingly affordable. It's going to be Chad Abbott, the program director. We and I were prepping for the show today. And he said, and I missed this yesterday in the Kevin O'Connell news conference, that he kind of have a little slip up, a little Freudian slip when talking about McCarthy, and said, former captain. I mean, when he's a captain, did he say something about him being a former captain and kind of caught himself? That's what I was told. I didn't hear it. I don't remember hearing it. Of course, at that point, I was enjoying my lunch, a black bean chili along with an avocado. I had some filet, cooked it about a minute and a half on each side, and put some butter on it. I ate it right my way to the grill.
Was he a captain on last year's team?
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
I mean, I know they have like 10 captains.
Yeah, they made him a captain last year, and I think they did that. Well, I think they did that that's one of those things where your quarterback obviously should be one of the leaders of the team, right? I mean, and so in order to give him that confidence that we believe in you, we trust in you, we think you're a leader of men, we're going to make you in your rookie or second year, whatever, we're going to make you one of the team captains. Aye, captain. I don't know I don't know, but Abbott said people have been playing the audio, and so I don't know if we have it cut up maybe. That's something that, the power trip would be all over, because does Do they do vacuum sealed segments too, or do they meander around? Well, unless you count yoga pants and breasts as one topic, right? But if that's two, then it's not vacuum sealed. It's not a vacuum sealed segment. There's two different topics there. I also saw another piece, Tenneby. List radio is what kind of radio?
Lazy radio.
It is lazy radio. And CBS Sports did one of those list lazy radio things, ranking the NFL's top new quarterback wide receiver duos entering the 2026 season. At 10, Fernando Mendoza and Trey Tucker. At number 9.
So they're new combos. I was going to say, otherwise that.
No.
I thought you were just doing.
No. That's what the headline said. New combos. Number 9, Aaron Rodgers and Michael Pittman Jr. What can you tell me about Michael Pittman Jr.? I know nothing
Pittman
about him.
was, I believe, a second-round pick for the Indianapolis Colts. Kind of a bigger-bodied guy. Played at USC in college. They thought he was going to be a little bit better in the pros, and he's been all right. I thought he had a decent season last year, and Pittsburgh has been struggling at the wide receiver position. So I think he's a good ad for them. But he's still not their number one. DK Metcalf should still be the number one guy in Pittsburgh.
Right. But was he catching passes from Rodgers before?
No.
Oh.
Or Metcalf or Pittman? No. Pittman was Indianapolis last year.
No, but that's what I'm saying. Metcalf. That's why they wouldn't have listed. This is this is new.
No, I get that.
You're saying
I'm just saying
a better receiver. I see.
In terms of the production
8,
between
right.
them. Yeah.
Number 8, Jalen Hurts and Mekhi Lemon.
Mekhi Lemon, first-round draft pick this year. They just traded A.J. Brown to the New England Patriots just a couple days ago. So, AJ was kind of more of the alpha X receiver on the outside.
Okay.
I don't know if Devontae Smith is going to play that role. Mekhi Lemon might be versatile to do both, but he's kind of thought to be more of a over the middle guy. But yeah, first they got him in the first round.
Number 7, Tyler. How do you say his name? Is it Shuff?
I think it's like Shuck, even though it doesn't look like it.
Tyler Shuck and Jordan Tyson.
Jordan Tyson, another first-round draft pick. Tyson, there were some injury worries with him, but I think just on pure talent, he probably has the highest ceiling of all the first-round wide receivers. But also Chris Olave is there. But yeah, Tyson should be on the field quite a bit. He'll be a top 2 wide receiver right out of the gate.
Number 6, Bo Nix and Jalen Waddle.
Yeah, so the Jalen Waddle...
He's been around the block.
He's been with the Miami Dolphins, played at Alabama, first-round pick. He had a very good rookie season. And that's when him and Tyreek Hill were both kind of speed guys together, and that offense was rolling, and that offense has slowly deteriorated since that moment. Waddle has not put up the same numbers he once did. But, in Denver, they don't have a lot of great receivers there. I mean, Cortland Sutton's just kind of meh. So Waddle might end up being the number 1 guy there.
Number 5, Brock Purdy and 6-time Pro Bowl wide receiver Mike Evans.
Evans getting up there in age, but every year we expect him to drop off, and he still puts up over 1,000 yards and is a good red zone target type of guy, gets touchdowns. Not a ton of competition there anymore in San Francisco. So Evans, he's getting up there in age, but he might still have one more good year left with him, and obviously Brock Purdy and Shanahan offense can get those guys open.
Number 4, Cam Ward and Carnell Tate. He's the Ohio State kid, right?
I'm surprised these two are at 4 because, Carnell Tate also at first-round draft. He's kind of just thought to be like a sure thing. Like this guy's.
Yeah.
We don't know if he'll be like the elite of the elite, but just his floor, his basement is pretty high, and that they just know he'll be a good wide receiver. But given Cam Ward in year 2 did nothing as a rookie, and then you're now pairing with a rookie wide receiver, I feel like this is a little high.
So if his basement is high, he's not going to get any water damage. His shoes won't get wet. Number 3, Josh Allen and DJ Moore.
DJ Moore has always been a little bit of a tease, going back to his Carolina days, and then he was kind of the top option in Chicago over the last couple of years. Chicago obviously drafted Rome Odunze a couple of years ago. They drafted Luther Burden last year. They also drafted a tight end who might be a stud tight end in Colson Loveland. So it just got to the point where they didn't need to have DJ Moore in his contract anymore because they have some young pass catchers who can probably produce just as well at a cheaper rate. And Buffalo has been looking for a number 1 wide receiver for a long time. I think DJ Moore is still He's good, but not great, but should get a lot of, should get a lot of looks in Buffalo, but not a lot of target competition.
Number 2, Kyler Murray and Justin Jefferson.
Who's higher than those two?
Above average. We'll get to that.
I was going to say, who's higher than those two?
Minnesota Vikings wideout Justin Jefferson is well on his way to becoming an all-time great. Jefferson produced the most receiving yards in NFL history through a player's first 5 seasons. That would be 7,432, but who's counting? And he entered 2025 averaging 96.5 receiving yards per game, the most in National Football League history. Then quarterback J.J. McCarthy, the 10th overall pick in the 2024 NFL draft out of Michigan, ruined Jefferson's life in 2025. That's the way they write it. Ruined his life, Tenneby. Not just his statistics, not just his career. His life was ruined.
Well, I don't know about life ruined, but I will have to say, J.J. through his first, how many ever seasons he's been here now? I've forgotten, 4 or 5.
Yeah, this is going to his 5th.
This is going into his 5th. So his first 3 years, statistically, he was on pace to be the greatest wide receiver of all time. So probably a little humbling to have those numbers come back. He probably just thought, I'm going to be first ballot Hall of Famer someday, and he still probably will be. But humbling that, hey, you can't do everything on your own. You are going to need help.
The 2022 NFL Offensive Player of the Year wideout registered career lows in receiving yards, 1,048. And receiving touchdowns, 2. McCarthy ranked dead last in completion percentage, 57.6%. TD to interception ratio, 11-12. And passer rating at 72.6. Jefferson's career receiving yards per game average dropped from 96.5 to 90.2, which now ranks as second most all-time behind, can you guess? Current player.
Jamar Chase?
Nope. Initials PM.
Oh, Puka Nacua.
Puka Nacua at 95.3. Jefferson became freed from McCarthy's shackles in 2026 thanks to Minnesota's free agency signing of 2-time Pro Bowl quarterback Kyler Murray. Murray is a clear-cut upgrade from McCarthy, provided he can remain on the field. He's missed 30 of a possible 68 games, 44% across the last 5 seasons, and played 12-plus games in a season just one time in the last 4 years, back in 2024. And I knew he had injury problems, Tenneby, but these stick out like a sore thumb. Did he ever injure his thumb? Because I didn't know he had missed that much. This guy is injury-riddled. He can't stay on the field. Right? I mean, he's missed 30 of a possible 68 games across the last 5 seasons. That's 44%. That's a lot. You asked who was number 1?
Well, now I figured it out. It's got to be Drake May, A.J. Brown, right?
That's correct.
Yeah.
Drake May and A.J. Brown. But, obviously, this CBS Sports story is making no bones. They're not buying it's a real quarterback competition between, matter of fact, we think they might be right over there in Minnesota that Carson Wentz might be on the depth chart. He's number 1. CBS Sports is convinced Kyler Murray will start at quarterback, and I think you and I are as well. Peek at the purple on a vacuum-sealed segment brought to you by our friends at Affordable Electric for all of your electrical needs. Affordable-electric.com. Back with more nonstop nonsense tomfoolery next on the Common Man program on the Fan.
The Common Man.
And $250,000 in cash. Each weekday through July 3rd, you can win your share with $2,500 toward your dream getaway. Listen for the keyword, enter at KFAN.com at 8 a.m. and hit the road America style.
My running buddies and I celebrated the 200th. It's hard to believe it's been 50 years since the 200th anniversary of our country. But that's what it would be because you add 50 to 200, it would be 250. We celebrated the 200th anniversary of our country in Canada. Well, we wanted it to be a 51st state even back then, well before a lot of people want to have, long before Dopey Don. We got stopped at customs on the way back. They tore our car apart, hubcaps. They thought, the car reeked of marijuana. We all got, where you were long-haired hippie freaks. Get out of the car, long-haired Louie. You're looking for me. And your mama don't dance and your daddy don't rock and roll. And so they pulled us out of the car. We had this great big huge tent we'd borrowed from another guy who wasn't on the trip. They took the tent out, tore it apart, They found some burnt seeds in the ashtray, and they were ready to take us in. They were calling them Royal Mounted Canadian Police. We said, we'll call your bluff on that. There's nothing illegal about that. So they let us go. And then the best part is we, in our haste to leave before they changed their mind, we forgot to put the tent back in the car. And when we got back, Ron, who we borrowed the tent, where's my tent? It's in Canada. Oh, Canada. He never forgave us for it. I ran into him like 20 years later, and the first thing I said, I go, hey, Ron, what's up? You owe me $20 for my tent. Okay. He had never forgotten it to me. He was that bitter about his tent. We went up to a place called Lake of the Lakes, and we had a whole multicolored galaxy of uppers and downers and screamers and laughers. It was kind of sad, actually, but that's just the way we were back then. But that's where we celebrated the 200th anniversary of our country. I was all of 17 years old at the time. Couple of text messages have come into the Bradshaw and Bryant KFAN text line. This one says, here's the problem with vacuum-sealed segments. They're awful. Yeah, I agree. I'm not a big vacuum-sealed segment guy. I like stream of consciousness much better. Here's one that says, I think the Uncrustable segment was vacuum-sealed. And it was an entire segment, I think. I don't think we wavered or varied. So I do think I think it was one of our more popular segments of recent vintage, which isn't saying a lot, or it does say a lot about the Grum, but people seem to enjoy it. Are you saving that one for best of? And listen to Tenneby and Common talk about which Uncrustable is better, grape or strawberry. You got to be in a camp. Everybody, talk radio, you got to be in a camp.
We did get a lot of rave reviews about the hour and 15 minutes at Meadows of Mystic Lake out in the broadcasting live from a golf cart. So that'll be replayed on Best of July 4th.
Very good. They did seem to like that. I think the people did. They kind of glommed onto that, and we did as well. Then there was, this one said, personally, this was the first segment. I wouldn't vacuum seal this segment. I'd flush it down the garbage disposal. That's it. But you know what? It's sometimes they won't, the garbage disposal can't chew up a real gristly vacuum seal segment. And then the plastic and the vacuum seal gets caught in it. It's bad. Here's a text message that says, there were financial implications to keeping Cat. If we don't trade Cat, we probably would not have been able to keep Nas. Oh, no, who would you rather have on your team right now?
Well, and I'd also like to ask, did we have financial implications because we traded for Rudy Gobert?
Well, we did.
If we hadn't traded for Rudy Gobert, would we have had to have given rid of Bodega Cat for financial reasons?
We would not have. You are absolutely right.
That would still be a mistake by the GM to put yourself in a spot where you had to trade Bodega Cat.
And we had made the Western Conference Finals with Gobert and Bodega Cat, traded Cat and acquired Julius Randle and Roberto DiVincenzo, and that got us to the Western Conference Finals when we got drilled. So same result, different team, and we're without Bodega Cat, and now we're saddled with Gobert, he's a good player. I get that, but we traded. I mean, it was one of those.
But he's still limited.
He is limited, especially offensively, and we gave up a lot of picks, too. It was Herschel Walker-like, wasn't it?
Yes.
And now how about this? One of the major pieces of that trade, we don't want him anymore. All we can talk about is trading Julius Randle. That's all we can talk about now. We got to get rid of Randle because he was not good this year. And in the postseason, he was awful. And now DiVincenzo, now this isn't his fault. Injuries happen, but now he's going to be out probably a whole nother year, right? And Bodega Cat is shutting down Wembanyama, and he's the toast of the NBA right now after what he did. You can say all you want that you thought it was a great trade, trying to curry favor with the front office over at 600 First Avenue, but I'm just telling you, and you know what? Like you say, had they traded Gobert, I don't know if he was tradable. And you know what? There's no rule about when the moon is in the 7th house and Jupiter aligns with Mars of going onto the second apron. I know it punishes you. Doesn't punish you though any more than trading the next 5 first-round draft picks for Rudy Gobert. Doesn't punish you any more than that. And the other thing people have to take into consideration is people don't measure the size of a guy's heart. It's always just it's the sabermetrics and the analytics, points per game, rebounds, and this. They don't take into the what you saw a Big Meow do, a Bodega Cat do, when he told us guys, just keep playing defense, guys. The offense will come. He inspired that club. In the huddle, he stood up and said something. He's a hell of a player, and I'm not the only one who believes that. I think I'm
going to compare this to Wild hockey, right? The Wild before the trade deadline didn't go out and make a move. Obviously, they'd acquired Quinn Hughes back in December, but part of it was, we're limited on assets, and we want to save that for when, as Barrera would like to say, a big knocker comes along, right? And they might have to go through that again this summer, right? Like, we're all hoping they get a number one center, but they might end up going, well, if we give up our assets now, then we're not available for a Connor McDavid, or if a Matthews does become available at some point, we now don't have the assets. I do wonder how many times the Wolves haven't been able to make a big deal now over the last year or two because of all the assets we gave up in the Rudy Gobert deal. So not only do we not have Bodega Cat, but we had 5 first-round picks that we had to ship out. That
probably why we couldn't get Antetokounmpo.
Maybe.
There was all this talk.
Right.
We wanted Antetokounmpo.
We might not have enough to give him.
Everybody here loves big ticket, right? Kevin Garnett. He is idolized and pedestalized. He is worshipped. Of all the athletes in this town over the years, tend to be Puckett,
Moss.
Would Moss.
Yeah.
Do we have one in hockey? I guess Kaprizov, was going to be that guy. Still could, right? Dylan Hughes.
Quinn Hughes.
Quinn Hughes. Dylan Hughes and no, is it? Who is Dylan Hughes?
I'm Dylan.
I think Dylan Hughes is an author. Anyway, where was I? Vacuum sealed segments. These are hard. Anyway, Kevin Garnett is considered in that, right? Oh, Justin Jefferson, right? Your Mount Rushmore would be Puckett, Garnett, Moss, and Anthony Edwards. This is from November 28th, 2024, about a year and a half ago. Kevin Garnett calls out Timberwolves for trading Karl Anthony Towns over Rudy Gobert. Hall of Fame forward Kevin Garnett called out the Minnesota Timberwolves blockbuster Karl Anthony Towns trade that landed them Julius Randle, suggesting Defensive Player of the Year Rudy Gobert instead. While Timberwolves All-Star Anthony Edwards says the Timberwolves are growing apart, Garnett accuses the organization of possibly wanting to unload Towns' 4-year, $220 million contract, which jumps from $49.2 in 2026 to $61 in 2027-2028. Garnett made his Rudy Gobert over Karl Anthony Towns take in a recent episode of KG Certified. It's certified KG. Here's what he said, quote, "We just swept that whole Minnesota thing under the rug. You're supposed to trade Rudy Gobert, keep Cat, and go on. You took a step back. You didn't want to pay the man? What are we doing?" Now, the comeback to that is, well, we did pay the man. Yeah, we did, but then we decided we didn't want to pay the man, so we shipped him out because of the second apron luxury tax. So we were all in on the Gobert trade, and it did work well. It got us to the Western Conference Finals, but we got drilled. And then we trade Big Meow, and we get Randall and DiVincenzo, and we get to the Western Conference Finals and get drilled. Gobert is now on the downside of his career. DiVincenzo's out, and the toast of the town is Bodega Cat. and that's not hindsight being 2020. That's what Garnett said then. That's what I said then, and I'll stick to it. But anyway, so there you go. Everybody's got to have a camp they got to be in. You're in the Gobert camp or you're in the Towns camp. I'm in the Towns camp. Now, tonight, game 2, Wembanyama might have his way with Big Meow, with Bodega Cat. It certainly is possible. But that still would.
It's hard to believe Wembanyama is going to be shut down for 4, 5, 6, 7 games in this series.
Yes.
I think he'll have his, but being able to limit him on occasionally would help their chances.
I know that, I can't vacuum seal. I got to now jump to the NHL. You were talking comparison to the Wild. The Stanley Cup Finals is even at a game apiece. The Hurricanes win in overtime last night. in Tennessee. I know that the Hurricanes' best line in their power play unit hadn't been very effective. And last night there had been quotes in the media, just wait, or, out of their locker room, just wait, it'll happen. It'll happen. It'll happen. And apparently, from what I understand, I didn't see it. This is just from talking to people and reading things. People I trust said that the second line and the first line of their power play was very good last night. And they score on a one-timer about 4 minutes into the overtime to win the game. What was the final? Was it 5-4, 4-3? Your thoughts?
4-3 in overtime, yeah.
4-3. Your thoughts?
I know it's only 2 games, but the entertainment level in this series thus far is just off the charts. I know they're non-traditional hockey markets. Maybe your casuals are not tuning in, but they should be, because this is high-level hockey. Gorg's been vindicated in both games, where a 2-0 lead has been overcome in both. And last night, Vegas was controlling that game for a good chunk of the time. Carolina and the crowd just, even through the television, sounded electric, just started steamrolling Vegas. They come back, they tie it up. So you get the comeback, you get the controversial non-goal against Vegas, which they call for goaltender interference.
Did you agree with it? Several people have texted to see, they wanted your take on that. Did you agree with it?
I'll be honest, I don't know which way to go on this, because the challenging thing with it is the goaltender's glove hides the puck. I mean, they showed every replay and every angle possible last night. I'm like, I don't know if he ever truly had it, but you can't see it. You can't see the puck be loose. So, the Vegas player pokes at it. They call the goaltender interference. I don't know if that's accurate, because I didn't see the goaltender's glove move back and be affected by it. My guess is he poked the puck away, but like I said, because the glove covers the puck, or it blinds us from being able to see it, and the fact that they had called that on the ice, I think it was one of those where it was just they didn't have enough to overturn it, is probably why they made it stand. But it was unfortunate for Vegas, because the challenge rule is now if you challenge it, which they did, and you're wrong, the other team gets a 2-minute power play. And so in a tie game with 5 minutes left, Carolina goes on the ice, gets the power play, scores, to what you just mentioned. They were the number 1 power play in the NHL this season, but have been struggling in the postseason, which is pretty amazing. They'd lost 1 game going into the series without a power play clicking. And all of a sudden Carolina's up. Vegas then scores with a minute and change left. I mean, just the action back and forth, and then Carolina takes care of business when they get their power play in overtime on the one-timer from Seth Jarvis. But the entertainment level, I mean, game 1 was great. Last night was even better. So it's going to be a fun series to watch.
And so as the NBA playoffs so far, that was a spectacular game, number 1. So both finals have been highly entertaining, which is what you want. I'm getting a lot of pushback. There are people, and here's what this is. People don't want to believe their team made the wrong decision. They don't want to say, wow, look at what we're stuck with now. Why did we do that? That's what like with the McCarthy stuff. We go, wow, we traded for this guy. We let Darnold go, and here we are. Now people have to admit to that one, at least to this point, and they don't want to admit to the other one. Here's one that says,
it's hard to get away from the Darnold one now.
Yeah, it is. This one says, haven't we had more playoff success with Gobert years compared to Big Meow years? Well, they're different teams. Guys can mature and get...
Big Meow was a part of one of those Western Conference finals.
He was, absolutely.
Yes. He was the first one, he was there.
Yeah, he was there.
And was a pivotal part in you getting there.
Yes.
Was more important than Gobert in getting there.
Yes, because he shut down
the Joker.
The Joker. And that's why people are doing the... I'm getting this a lot, too. This... the Wolves with Cat at center were a play-in team. That was the ceiling. He got eaten alive in the playoffs defensively. Do you think Joker ate him a lot? He was brilliant against the Joker. He shut the Joker down. And guess who shut the newly anointed greatest player of all time, Victor Wembanyama? That was Big Meow. And on the whining thing, people want to nominate me for preposterous statement because I said Big Meow doesn't whine. We're not talking about whining after fouls. All NBA players whine after. It's don't you remember? Are people's memories that short? All we've heard about is about the Wolves is the reason for their failures is they're moody. They're pouting because I'm not getting enough touch. It was players in the locker room said it. Guys aren't getting their touches. They're not scoring their points, and they're pouting about it. They're moody about it. Big Meow doesn't get pouty or moody about touches and this or that. Fouls, sure, and it was annoying. Who wasn't annoyed by him? But are you not? Let me guess, you're not annoyed when Ant does it, though. Have you seen a guy? Ant's the same way. They all are. Every player that plays basketball thinks he's never committed a foul and that anytime he misses a shot, it's because he's been fouled. Have you not been paying attention?
And LeBron's one of the biggest whiners.
Well, yes.
I'm sure you would have taken him in his prime.
Yeah. It's all right to admit we made the wrong trade. It's okay to admit that if you thought it was the right trade, you were wrong. It's okay. It's not the end of the world. And, we're not done yet. Now, without DiVincenzo in the lineup for a while, and I don't know what you do if you don't have Randall. I mean, all I know is the Knicks are still playing, we're not, and we're talking about having to bust the team up. We got to get rid of Randall.
And the Knicks are who we made this trade with.
Yeah.
They're flourishing, and we're still a contender.
Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, depends upon what you call a. This one says, how did Cat get the name Bodega? I'll explain it again. It's really cool. No, it is. They call these little corner stores that sell in New York, and all the boroughs. I don't know. They call them bodegas. Can you Google bodega and read the exact definition of it? And these bodegas they employ a cat. Now, they don't pay him cat. If they do, they probably pay him in catnip, maybe in sardines. But all these little grocery bodega.
A small independent or family-owned grocery store usually located in a densely populated urban environment, traditionally serving a Hispanic clientele.
And then each of them has a cat that kills the mice, chases the mice, the Mises to pieces. And so people in New York started calling him Bodega Cat. And that's even better than Big Meow. I remember when we had Towns on, I said, I've been calling you Big Meow. He goes, I don't really like that. And I go, well, then do you want me to not call you? You can call me that. He just didn't like it as a nickname. But he didn't say don't. If he would have said stop calling me, and I don't, I call him Bodega Cat now. Bodega Cat, formerly known as Big Meow, formerly known as Cat. And it's all right. We'll figure out a way. Tim Connolly will get it figured out. I don't know what we trade to get Antetokounmpo. I mean, I don't know what you tell me what the team does. I'll leave that.
Well, they're in that spot now where, like I said, because they gave up so many assets in the Gobert trade, that now to bring in a big fish, you have to you have to now get rid of someone like Jade McDaniels, and do you really want to get rid of Jade McDaniels? But you don't have enough assets anymore.
Correct.
Other than someone like him.
Yeah.
And that's why the Dillingham draft pick was so disappointing. Because even if he showed potential, like that's an asset you could have.
Correct.
And you had to trade him for a guard that's kind of a starter, kind of a backup.
That's exactly right.
Was a nice player, but
I think the Knickerbockers' future is brighter right now than the Wolves. And we'll see. I mean, Conley he's good at what he does, but people want to why they've turned him into. Is it Rapunzel? We talked about this yesterday. Was it Rapunzel or Rumpelstiltskin that would spin straw into gold? I think Rapunzel's the one that let down your hair out of the castle moat and somebody climbed up it. Might have been Samson and Delilah. I don't know. I get all of my historical figures mixed up. Why did I waste my youth consuming a whole multicolored galaxy of uppers and downers and scream? Why didn't you stop me, Timothy? Why did you say, lock your cars, take your keys, don't let a good boy go bad? Why did you? Well, you didn't know me then.
I probably wasn't even born.
Yeah, you weren't even born when I was in the midst of that. You're 44?
I'm 46.
46. Yeah, you weren't even born. Bad to the bone. Bad to the bone. That's what I was. Let's do this. Let's pause, come back. Lil B, feminine touch to the program. She joins us next year on the Common Man program.
Lil B joins Common next on The Fan.